We got breaking news on NFL Central. As you can see on in the title and on the thumbnail, Justin Fields was carted off in practice today this morning with a toe injury. We're gonna see if it's a big deal, if it's a little deal, and if it is a big deal, what can them dudes in Jersey do for a replacement? Because the backups ain't the answer. We're gonna get straight into it, but y'all gotta hear that music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of NFL Central. Let's get straight up into it. Like I said in the intro, Justin Fields was just carted off about an hour or two ago in their early morning practice in East Rutherford, New Jersey. As y'all know, that's a crazy ass name to say, East Rutherford. But it's not what you want to hear, especially from Jets fans. They've been dealing, especially with the injury to problems they've been dealing with, especially from the QB position. They just dealt with the whole fiasco with Aaron Rodgers with the torn Achilles the first game of the season, and then the next year after that, he just shown that he wasn't the same type of quarterback. So you go out here, you give a young guy in Justin Fields a chance who kind of showed that he played a little bit better in his stint in Pittsburgh for the Steelers, but they decided to go a different direction and give it back to Russell Wilson and never gave him that job back. But according to the Jets, they felt like they seen enough, and it was enough tape and it's enough footage and doing his pass with the Bears with the Pittsburgh, and they feel like they could bring some things out when he becomes a Jet, and now he's a Jet, and you've seen the news him go up and down throughout the camp, but for the most part, it's still been good news, good reviews from Justin Fields up until this point. But now with this happening, having an injury to the toe. Now they did say it's not a big toe, but it's his right foot. So I'm guessing it's probably one of the mid toes. So what happened was somebody stepped on his foot during one of the drills that they was doing or play, and after that you could see him hobbling off the field. And then once they did that, they took him back into the locker room, and now, as far as we know, they're still getting more details in it. We don't know if anything's dislocated or broken or anything like that. But at the end of the day, any type of form of injury, especially into now, we getting into the brunt. The season is less than 2 months away. Um, Preseason is less than 2 weeks away. So yeah, you want your starting quarterback to be healthy and ready for all that's going. But I came here to talk about another quarterback in case this is a bigger issue that he won't be ready when it comes to week one. And y'all see it on the thumbnail. And let's talk about it. Kirk Captain Cousins. I feel like Kirk Captain Cousins is somebody they should consider. Now, we all know that he's also another guy that's been dealing with a lot of injuries as well, especially in the last few years. Achilles injury, ribs injuries in Minnesota, and a shoulder injury that was, you could tell, especially throughout the season last year in Atlanta, you could tell that shoulder and elbow injury that he was dealing on his throwing arm was causing some problems. You could see that he would he would throw the ball, as soon as he threw it, he knew it was a bad pass, and it either led to an interception, pick six, or incompletion. But at the end of the day, the Jets need somebody that's a vet, know what they're doing, played in big games, and it's not going to be shell shock when it comes to a lot of big moments, especially when it comes to a town like or a city, I should say, like New Jersey slash New York. That's a big media place, big media market, and you got to be able to hold your own and be able to stand tall, and then be able to have the right things to say and the mental fortitude to make it throughout the season in a place like New Jersey. So to me, Kirk Cousins is a perfect I would say a perfect person to go after. I don't think you're going to have to spend a super ton of money. I think Atlanta already did that, and then with his production that he showed, especially with the injuries, the money's going to drop tremendously. But in terms of production, he when Kirk is healthy, he's very active. He's good with decision making. He's good with the ball. He's good with intermediate passes. Reading the field. Especially reading play. Reading the defense before he even snaps the ball. So yeah, with that, they still got people like Gary Wilson, who they just gave another contract with, who's pretty still young. So that wide receiver core is still pretty, I'll say, young and 3 3 is young, inconsistent, and I would say the chemistry is lacking. So, for that being said, it would be nice for a young veteran quarterback who's seen a ton of wide receivers, young and old, played with a ton of wide receivers, young and old. So, and it won't be nothing that Kurt wouldn't be able to handle. If anything, it probably one of the best situations he's been with, like Atlanta and Minnesota. We all know that the team that he will be going to in the Jets got a pretty good defense. Definitely one of the best D lines. I would say a top 15 D line in the league. So, and defensive wise, they still listed as one of the best defenses in the league. So that's always a good thing for a quarterback. They still got Brees Halls and other forms of weapons at the running back position. So you got a nice running game. Old lineman has been approved with your two. You got Olangwu and the you just got your future tackle out of Missouri in the draft. So you address the O line as well. So to me, I don't want nobody super young or I will say I don't want nobody young at all if I'm the Jets. You already, if you're gonna go young, you're gonna go the Justin route. Now, based on early predictions and what I'm seeing as of now, I don't think I don't think Justin's injury is as bad as it made it sounded. Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest, we gotta stop saying carted off for everything because everything ain't carted off. Because when I think carted off, I actually think they brought the card out and he wasn't able to walk out. Half of the time, people be carted off, they be like he got an arm around somebody or he couldn't put no pressure on it. He's lifted out. Now I can understand the lifted out when he can't put no pressure on it, but I don't think Justin was completely carted out. Based on the knowledge and the info that I read, he limped off the field. And if anything, he probably has some support after the fact and has somebody arm around their head so that for to take some pressure off. But I don't think it was to the point where like it's devastating to the point where like, I don't think he's gonna miss the whole year. Like even if he was to fracture a toe, break a toe, dislocate a toe, I don't think that would take him out the whole year. So with that being said, I still think he dodged the bullet. It could have been a way more significant injury. So I'm just glad that as of now, it don't seem like it's a big deal. It's a right toe injury. We don't know which toe it is, but it's not a big toe, which is it's a big deal because everybody know if you got a bad right big toe, you ain't gonna be able to do anything. But as far as that go, I think that's the honor. I don't really have nobody else from the quarterback position I can feel like that could come in and play for the New Jersey Jets or whatever the fuck they call each other. Pick a goddamn city. That's all I gotta say. Pick a goddamn city. But yeah, I don't know who else could come in but Kirk. I feel like Kirk will be the most likely. He got the most experience. He's won a lot of games. He's been with a lot of great coaches. He's smart, IQ up there. So, in my opinion, for a young, I won't say they want super young. I would say for a young offense, just a young offense for the Jets, they could use a veteran at the QB position. Why not go for somebody like Kirk Cousins? Because quite frankly, ain't too many people else you can go after. And if you do go after him, you really could take a gamble. Like Kirk Cousins already a gamble within itself, but it would be even more of a gamble if you try to go for anybody else. But that's my thoughts on it. Y'all just seen breaking news once again. Justin Field was carted off the field in practice for the Jets today with a toe injury. We still waiting for more info to come out. What toe is it? Is it broken? Is it fractured? Is it dislocated? We still waiting for that info. But at the end of the day, based off that knowledge, it don't seem like it's that big of a deal at the end of the day. But like I said, if it is, my first call would be to Atlanta and see what's going on with Kirk Cousins. Because out of all the options that you could possibly look at, I think Kirk would be the best viable answer. But that's me. It's Stevo from NFL Central. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all thought process down in the comments. Jets fans, are you worried? Do you feel like it would be a good idea to go get Kirk Cousins if it is indeed a bigger injury from Justin Fields? But yeah, thank y'all for another episode. And I'm gonna catch y'all in another video. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, and we out.
This has been a presentation of the Break